Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, welcome back into my studio for another Stinky Robot live stream. I'm Michael Smell. We're going to give it a second here, see if anybody wants to jump on, but until then, I got a question for you. I'm going to go over a real quick issue I'm having. As many of you know, if you've been watching my stream or if you just showed up, this is actually my 20th live stream. We're starting to get a little bit better, but I'm still working on a few bugs here and there, a few issues. So I'm going to send a question out to you, and if you know the answer, leave me a comment down below. I'll be checking these later and see if anybody responds, but I'm having some lighting issues. But let me show you what I'm dealing with here, and while we're giving people to jump in and see if they want to draw with us, I'll go over this real quick. So let's click over here to the artwork screen. All right, so here's my issue. You see my face down here, right there. And I'm not very lit up. Now I had more lights going on in my room initially, so I'm doing my lighting setup. And I do have an umbrella light over here to my left. That's giving me a majority of my light on my artwork. So that's giving me a nice cast light, which is working out real decent since I got the umbrella. And I have a 5600K adjustable light on there, so I can fine tune that real nice. But then I have two spotlights on the other side, little 6-inch Niwars. So they're not, they're supposed to be 56K, but they're Niwar. So not sure they're true 56K, but I got this one on its lowest setting, this one on its second lowest. And you'll notice when I click it up higher, you see how I'm getting that cast light. And what's happening is if I have too much light, then my artwork gets totally washed out. You can't even see the pencil lines that I'm doing. So you'll notice if you've gone back and watched my first, dozen videos, you'll see like the artwork just seems so washed out. And if I turn them all the way down, it looks its best. But I am very, very dark. So I turn it up one notch, and then I got a little bit of light coming in from this side, and that kind of helps. But if I turn them both up, I start to get too washed out into the artwork. You can see it better here if I put one of my old drawings up here, so you can kind of see it a little bit better. When I put the drawing up, you see how washed out it gets. So that's an issue I'm having, and if you have a solution for me, let me know. Another reason I was having such a washout, it still looks better than it did in the first few, is I used to, right behind me here, I have the light table. I was running my light table, but the light was reflecting off the ceiling so much it was really washing it out. As well as I had another light up here that I was running, but you can see that's just a bad idea. Also the same thing, it was bouncing off the ceiling. No bueno. I was shooting that actually back behind me on this wall back here, and helping to kind of illuminate this, like this painting right here, and illuminate this side of the studio. So yeah, I'm dealing with that issue a little bit. I'll work through it. I got to figure out some spotlights, and the biggest problem too is it's not the biggest space in the world. My studio is a fairly small space, and I have a lot up here between my desk and my printers and my bookcase and get on and on and on. I got so much stuff up here. It's a studio, so I've only got maybe 2 feet behind the front camera to work with the lighting. So we'll figure out some solutions. But if you know anything out there that might help me out with my lighting or anything I should look into, hit me up in the comments, leave me a link. I'd really appreciate any help I can get. Still a young live stream channel, so I am open to any suggestions you may have to make my work pop and make me look better on camera. I gotta accentuate this beautiful face of mine. Wouldn't want to disappoint my ladies out there. But yeah, leave me a comment down below if you have any suggestions. Hey, looks like Kate's in there. Hey Kate, how you doing? Where's the tank at tonight? Is he with you? Yeah, I'm looking at maybe getting a ring light, but the only problem I'm having a little bit, the idea is, if I have a ring light, you can't see what I'm seeing, behind my camera over here, I'm still casting way too much light here. So I'm gonna have to somehow figure out a way of diffusing it, or putting a little screen up, to block the light. But yeah, that's probably one of the things I'm gonna try out the first is with. Yeah, I haven't asked. That'd be great. I'm gonna play with a few ideas. I know before I go out and buy a ring light, my sister's got one. She's a big TikTok girl, so I'm gonna steal her light one day and I'll do a test run and see if that works. But yeah, ring light's a directional light. It filters direction on the light. I'll probably try that as well. But those are pretty expensive, so I hate to just jump in and spend a whole lot of money just trying to fix it. But yeah, and I make it a little fancy too. I'm thinking about putting a blue lighter back there somewhere. I don't know. We'll see if I can turn my studio one of these days into those fancy YouTube studios. But as of right now, it's a functioning studio. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for listening. If you got any suggestions, definitely leave me a comment down below. And if you found this, do me a favor, reach down below and hit that like button. Doesn't cost you anything, but it really does help me out, especially being a young channel. Anytime someone hits that like, it goes a long way for my own personal ego as well as the algorithm for YouTube. Consider subscribing to the channel because we're going to be posting here 5 days a week going from here on. This is episode 20, and so I'm looking forward to episode 100. That's going to be a big celebration. And if you haven't seen more of my work, you might know what I'm all about. Go to my website, stinkyrobotart.com. I need to make a little tagline that pops up on screen down here, right here. But yeah, stinkyrobotart.com. If you want to check out some of my work, see what I'm up to, see what my larger works look like. They're not all these simple little, 1 to 2 hour drawings. Those turn out similar to this, but yeah, I have a whole bunch. Here's well, I got them sitting right here. So why not show them off for a little bit? These are the test ones I did, and no one has seen me on these live streams. I did a handful of tests to see what can I accomplish in an hour. Originally, I was going to go a little bit smaller. So these are the first test ones I did. Started off these little tiny ones. So there's ones that haven't showed up on the YouTube channel, but yeah, they're fun. My wife's already claimed this one. She says, let's put that in a frame so she can take it to work. She's always trying to steal my art. That's the problem. My wife gets mad every time she actually falls in love with the painting. Like, oh my God, I love that piece. I sell it. So if I can impress her, I always sell that one first. Frustrates the heck out of her because she wants that one to stay in her house. I'm like, well, sorry, hon. Yeah, the wife of an artist, she's like, all the art around her and none of it's hers. All right, let's just jump in here and let's get drawing, guys. Turn my clock on here. There we go. All right, what are we doing today? I have no idea. I'm actually dead tired. Me and my son just got done working out in our little gym in the basement, and he's 9, almost to turn 10. And he started his very first day trying to deadlift and do some squats. It was pretty awesome to watch him. He's getting ready for baseball season, so he's all kinds of excited. We're starting next week, I believe. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So I may have to do a little bit of adjustment. We're going into sports season here. So as of right now, I've been doing my live streams, like I said, at 11:30 and in the morning and 9:30 at night. But coming up here fairly soon, may have to make some adjustments just because we're going into sports season. I got a little daughter who just started volleyball this week. My son in baseball, so can't overlap that schedule. But haven't got the schedules yet, so we're still waiting to find out when the games are going to be. So fair warning, my time frames may be changing sometime soon, but I got to put the dad thing first. I'm nothing if I'm not one proud papa, that's for sure. I got some pretty awesome kids. My son was asking me earlier. He was like, Dad, we're going to summer. If I could be, because they were in my live stream. If you go back a few live streams ago, my kids were home for spring break, and so they showed up in the live stream. They did the little challenge and seeing what they could come up with in an hour. But my son was, Dad, can we do it during the summer? Can we do that again? I was like, yeah, we can work something out. So, well, not every day, but maybe once a week we can have during the summer when I have all 3 kids. I get my nephew over this summer too, because stay-at-home dads, those art dads, just a free babysitter. So I watch my nephew each summer. So my kids and my nephew are pretty much growing up together. So you'll see them popping in and out on live streams here pretty soon. Probably one day a week I'll have, and it'll be fun. Let them practice their skills and develop their art talent. I am all about doing that. Yeah, I was going through the Facebook the other day. I was checking out some of Tank's work. He's got some pretty cool stuff. I dig his watercolors. They kind of remind me a little bit of what my grandfather does. He was doing those watercolor landscapes I saw, which are pretty awesome. Look up artist Gary Hawk. Rural Western watercolor artist Gary Hawk. on Google or something like that. That's my grandfather. But I get all my talents from. I give him all the credit in the world. But yeah, he does some really awesome landscapes, and he was Kansas Artist of the Year, I think, 2 or 3 times. He was Kansas Artist of the Year, and he actually got, not once but twice, he got invited to the White House. So that was pretty awesome. He got a call one day from Ronald Reagan. Gary, this is the president. Blew his mind. He'd found out about, because he was an actor. My grandfather had done a painting of an actor. It was an old Western scene of Doc Adams, and him and Ronald Reagan were real good friends. So he found out about the painting, called up my grandfather, invited him to the White House. My grandfather donated it to the White House. Then afterwards, I guess, after a president leaves, they're given so many gifts, and I guess they're only allowed to keep a certain amount of gifts that were given to them as while they were president. I think it's like just a handful. And one of the things he chose that didn't stay in the White House collection was my grandfather's painting, which now is at the Reagan Library, it hangs at the Reagan Library now, which is really awesome. And then when George Bush, the second George Bush, was in office, they did a White House Christmas, and they chose an artist from all 50 states to do this massive Christmas ornament that hung on the White House Christmas tree. And my grandfather got chosen for the state of Kansas. He did a piece for the old fort in Fort Scott, and you got to go to White House Christmas and be the president and do all that stuff at the White House Christmas, which big shoes to fill. He made one hell of a name for himself throughout his art career. One of the coolest things in the world. He passed away on New Year's Day, which that was tough. We lost him on New Year's Day, and down in my garage right now, I've got his mat cutter that I just got. I'm refurbishing it, so I'm really excited about it. I've got a real nice mat cutter that I'm refurbishing. The one I learned how to mat artwork on. It's now mine, and I'm rebuilding it. So it's gonna all these live streams I'm doing. Each one are gonna be put in a package. They're gonna come pre-matted, pretty much just ready to drop in frame. And then I'm ordering all the packaging material I need right now for it. So as soon as those get in, I get all the packaging material, I will be putting these up for sale on my website. Again, stinkyroboart.com. Check it out. So these will be available at some point next week. So I'm looking forward to that. So if you want any of these live streams you really like, they'll be on there. But yeah, he was pretty awesome. And when I was in high school, I got the best job ever. Hard to believe, but I was not the best student in high school. I may or may not have partied a little too hard. But in order to graduate, I was required to do a work release class. And I ended up being an apprentice to Gary Hawk. So I was an artist apprentice for my senior year, and I went to my grandfather's house, helped run his art business, learn how to frame, spent hours in his studio learning how to draw. He sent me with all these projects to do, and it was a lot of fun. In fact, the entire reason I'm doing live streams now is my grandfather. He always did these little demo paintings, and they'd take him 30 minutes to an hour to do, and they were watercolor. He would just sit there and boom, there's a cabin. He could draw a cabin in 5 lines and perspective and trees. And as a kid, and actually more than a kid, I remember sitting there watching him do a demo for my wife when he first met my wife. He'd always do a demo for you if you went to his studio. And he would do these demos, and as a little kid, I'd run around in cowboy boots and try to bring people to his art booth and try to help him sell his work. And my grandpa's getting ready to do a painting demo, you got to come watch. And I've sat and watched him do just literally hundreds of these little demos. And after he passed away, we found we found tons of them. And we're in the middle of right now trying to figure out how to continue the art business on his side of it. How we're gonna, after his passing, family's dealing with that right now. But we found so many of them, and after his funeral, I was driving home with my wife and I was talking to her and I was like, I got to do something like he did. And I was like, well, I don't go to a lot of conventions. I'm going to start. I think my plan is to start really hitting the convention scene next year. So I'm going to give this YouTube live streams like full on as hard as I can over the next year. And then I'm going to start hitting out the convention scenes a little bit more. I've done them before. They're a lot of fun. They're actually a lot of fun. So, but yeah, he would do these painting demos. So I was like, what can I do? And I was like, well, I've got this YouTube channel that I've started and, I fiddle with this YouTube channel thing. So maybe I could do the live streaming. So driving home from the funeral after New Year's, me and my wife started talking. That's exactly where this live stream came from. We started setting it up and preparing and doing some practices and getting all the camera equipment we needed in the right place. It's still pretty bare bones. We're going to build over the years. This face cam right now is just my old GoPro Hero 3. I've had it sitting there in my studio for a long time, and eventually we'll get in better DSLR or mirrorless camera up there. Get some better lenses and this or that. But I'm really excited about so far what this live stream's doing. Special thanks to the people who are showing up every day. Tank and Kate and WT and my Stacy and a few others have been showing up. I greatly appreciate you guys, more than you'll even know. It's so much better when you show up and there's people on your live stream. The other day, I think I was streaming for about an hour all by myself, and there's no one on there, but I shrugged it off and just kept talking like someone was there. Like, someone's going to watch it afterwards. And sure enough, I got views now. I'm not sure what I'm doing with this arm just yet. That's wonky. Let's get rid of that. That's a weird looking arm. Yeah. One of these days on the live stream, I'll probably pull out some of my grandfather's work and I'll show you guys. It's pretty neat stuff. I was pretty honored. It was fun talking about my grandfather today. We're just gonna need to be my subject. But he, at his funeral, of course, we set up his casket and we had almost an art show going around with these paintings and stuff around his casket. Not a lot, not everything he's done, but we had several paintings around his casket, and I got put in charge of setting up the artwork on the show. So I had to go in early and set it all up. And for me, that was such a high honor to be the one that put his artwork around him on his funeral. That was a big honor for me. No, I appreciate that. So you go back and watch the old videos you missed. That's fantastic. So far, I'm pretty excited about. I've had some ones that some are hit and miss, but for the most part, I've not had a true failure yet. That was the main thing I was worried about, was doing something that just turned out to be an absolute, what was that? I failed. Haven't yet to have a real big failure. And some of them are not quite. I have lighting problems. Some of them look really good in person. But I go back and watch the video after I get done filming it and critique myself. And the lighting, it's just everything comes down to that lighting just sucks, and I'm so frustrated about lighting. We'll get that part figured out. It may take me 50 videos, but with your guys' help, I'll get it figured out. Starting next week, I'm going to start hitting my big work again. I've been concentrating the last few weeks just on pretty much the live streams, getting things done, but I've got one commission sitting back there. You guys have probably noticed in the background that it has got a deadline that needs to get finished, so I'm going to be hitting that real hard over the weekend. Starting next week, I'm going to start getting that one off the plate. I've got another commission that's kind of in the queue. It's on. So I may have to start that one soon. I'm waiting on the go-ahead. The commission's there. I'm just waiting for the final, ready to start that. As soon as that shows up, I'll have that commission going. But I have that Medusa piece I did a while back in the live stream. I'm really looking forward to getting that one started. That one's kind of on the tip of my brain right now, is getting that Medusa going. Oh, am I going to go live with any of my paintings? You know, not yet sure about that. I do film a lot of the paintings, so you can go back in my, you can see some of the ones on my YouTube channel. So that from this point going forward, I will, unless I have a rushed commission, I will be filming pretty much everything I do in studio. For the most part, will go in. You know, sometimes I may only film like, I'm just film the squirrel painting that part, or film a portion of the painting. And other times I'll paint, but I'll try to film mostly the whole thing. But yeah, it's hard to go live on those when some of those paintings have, 200 hours in them, or more. So it's really hard to go 200 hours live on one painting. You just lose interest. Speaking about whose commission it is, hey Stacy. Yeah, she's the one ready to... Yeah, Jason's going to be up here on Monday too. We've been talking to him. It'll be hard not to show it to him, but he's going to have to wait because it's commissioned for Jason. Let's see here. We're at 14 minutes on the drawing. It's not too bad. I kind of have a plain looking robot in here right now. Let's see if I can do something to doctor him up a little bit. Just add a few details. I'm trying to figure that part out. Another mohawk, hole in the head. What should we go here? Let's go with the hollow eyes. I like doing the hollow eyes. So hollow eyes with no jewels today. But I'm going to do a large jewel down here. Let's just give him a little bit of character. We're going to give him a little pattern character. So when's Tank going to start his live stream? Jason doesn't want disc golf on Monday? How come I feel that's you talking? You can tell him when Joe was in the studio earlier today. Joe came over to do some printing of his work, getting ready for a tattoo convention. And tell Jason Joe's down for Monday. He wants to throw. So if he ain't gonna throw, he's gonna miss out. Poor Jason. We'll just throw without him. No big deal. So where's your doctor's appointments at, Tank? You said 10 hours in the vehicle. My goodness, because you're in Virginia, right? Am I right about that, or where are you at? Yeah, you're gonna have to stop doing that, Tank. You gotta keep yourself out of the hospital. Hopefully it was a mighty story about I was really drunk one night and I fill in the blank. Or you'd be like me and like you're just getting older and you feel it everywhere. Alright, so that's kind of just a simple little pattern to kind of break it up, make it some visual interest here. That will go all the way down. No mouth. A little detail here off the side of the head. Curve that up better. Nope. I don't like it. Erase. Back to my original line. It was way better. Try not to make today the very first fail video. I don't think it's going to happen. Ah. Maybe I have an idea. There you go, can't go wrong with that. Check something real quick. One second here. All right, sorry, I wanted to. You just want to make sure I was still live. I'm still live. Showing a bit of a delay. Heck of a big delay, but best if I'm not looking at it while it's happening. Normally my latency is not that bad, but I do have several things on my computer running right now, which probably slowing me down a little bit. Yeah, when in doubt, throw a Jolly Roger in there. You can't go wrong with a Jolly Roger, can you? I don't think so. I think it's impossible. Make it fairly a simple one here. Just cool. Almost done with this sketch here. We're about to move on to the actual work now. Tell you what, one of the things I love the most about these live streams, I don't feel any pressure. I just, whatever I feel like drawing that day, it does not, I don't have to overthink it. Sometimes in my bigger work, I get real analytical and I will overthink the living crap out of a painting. But you know, a lot of artists will tell you you'll spend more time on the sketch and the things that people won't see than you actually do on the painting itself. So you get really caught up in every little detail and every little drawing. And sometimes I'll have an ungodly amount of layers developing a painting. So I've overthought it a million times. By the time I actually put it on the panel, start painting. But when you start out with these with no thought, I had no idea what I'm gonna draw. Yesterday I kind of did. I had an idea what I was gonna draw with the snake ball yesterday. But today, oh yeah, snake ball was awesome. Yeah, yesterday I kind of had an idea. I knew I wanted to do some kind of snake knotted thing, and I had it. Sometimes I do have something in my head, but I lie when I say I never do. But today I literally came upstairs, set up my camera, got ready to film, and jumped on. After fiddling with the lighting for 20 minutes, like I always do. Oh, that lighting. And if you guys know how to fix it, comment down below. Let me know. I will figure that lighting out. I just would rather it be sooner than later. I'm open to any and all suggestions from anybody out there that knows anything more than I do about photography, and give me some pointers. I took photography in college, but I have not had a photography class in maybe 1 or 2 years, or 10 or 20. I don't know how. I graduated in 2005 from college. Showing my age. Alright, you know what? Stop fiddling. I think we're good. That's good. We're going to call that right there. I'm going to keep on. I can keep on sketching on this thing for the next hour, but we're going to just shut it down and start drawing. So here's another thing I'm playing with too. And I'm watching my viewer counts, and like I said, we're an early channel. And a lot of you showing up know I'm still trying to figure out how to bring in more subscribers and how to build and grow this channel out. So we're going to be changing around probably next week sometime. I'll start changing up my hours a little bit as soon as I find out those sports schedules for the kids. As soon as I have that information in my hand, we're going to make some adjustments, but I'm also trying to find the key times, you know, when the most people are going to want to show up for my live streams, you know, whether it's in the morning or the evenings, or, you know, what part of the world or the country people are showing up from. So, you know, I'm still finding my audience. Got to find that audience and build this channel. So we're going to be doing a lot of changes as we go. I hope I'll be able to keep everybody as we make these changes. But, you know, we'll mix up quite a bit. And I'll even start doing maybe some live streams that aren't going to be the inks. This pen is struggling. I might put it on the side. Try another one. I was talking a little bit today with my buddy Joe. He's a tattoo artist. He's developed a lot of artwork in my studio. He's been working with me for years now. Anyways, we were talking, like, I may also you know, I'll do some maybe some painting classes and painting tutorials, or maybe 1 week we're just gonna develop a painting over an entire week, or you know, live stream that, or you know, I may sit down and just do, hey, today we're gonna be doing a sparrow, and I'll do a live painting demo of painting a sparrow, or something simple where I can get really detailed with actual acrylics over, you know, a couple hours or 1 or 2 hours, and just dive into actually using full acrylics or some other medium, and kind of push the boundaries of what we can do with this channel. Again, always open to suggestions. Comment down below. If anybody's showing up and you're watching this right now and you haven't hit that thumbs up, I would love you to death. Just nail it. And I hope I can win your subscription here. You'll subscribe to my channel. And I encourage everybody, draw along, see what you can come up with. I know a few people have already drawn with me. And I'm going to look into another detail is going to come soon on my channel. But be having a hashtag. I haven't decided what I'm going to have people hashtag just yet, but we will have a hashtag coming soon so that you can create your own work at home, draw with me, create your own work, and then, you know, hashtag it so that I can go in and I can see everybody's work. And eventually we'll start adding drawings and maybe some competitions and stuff like that. I may start bringing other people's artwork in here to show off, and as the channel grows, so will our ideas and concepts and things we're going to do with this channel. So your subscription and is going to go a long ways with me being able to develop all of this stuff. But one step at a time, we got to learn how to walk before we run. But I got a lot of ideas where I could take it. I'm really excited about the prospects of this channel. And just a few weeks ago, I was scared to death no one was ever going to show up. But a few of you guys have really proved me wrong, and that's been awesome. That's what makes it exciting for me every day to jump on here. And instead of being nervous about going live, I'm excited about going live because I'm like, who's going to be in there today? That's a pretty awesome feeling. All right. I think I started talking about this earlier and I got sidetracked, but another thing I want you guys' opinion on, if anybody wants to leave me comments or down below. So I do the pencil sketches and I develop those for the first 15 to 20 minutes. I think today it took me about 25 minutes to get the pencil sketch all kind of finished up. But I have noticed, and I go back and look at my analytics, at the time period most people kind of pop in, see what I'm doing, and pop right back off, and I'm not maintaining their viewership. It tends to be in that first, 20 minutes or so when I'm doing the pencil sketch. I think partly because you couldn't see it because of my lighting. I think I've gotten it dialed in a little better, the best I can right now. But I'm also wondering if, that part gets a little boring watching me develop the sketch. So what do you guys think? Should I have a preliminary sketch already ready so I show up and it just goes directly into inking? And I can do it real light. This is really drawn dark so you guys can see on camera, but I go in real light so you just see it quickly develop as I do the pen work. I go from pen work, then into the acrylic inks, and then I'm done with the live stream. It also shortened my live stream some because I won't have to develop it from scratch. So I can sit down and, develop, 8-10 sketches and have them in the wing ready to go. When I go live, I can already know my direction, already know what I'm drawing that day. It would also allow me to get more into detail work and get a little more intricate with my drawings. Or do you like watching me develop it from scratch, from nothing, and making it into a work of art live? What do you guys think? You like watching me develop it, do you, Kate? Okay, even if you're watching this video after the fact, by all means, don't be scared to jump down there and leave me a comment. I greatly appreciate it. I'm trying to answer all the comments as they come in. You know, one of the reasons I encourage everybody to draw with me and work with me is, you know, art's that your interest, it's something you're into. Even if it's just a hobby, you're not trying to actually turn a dollar with your work like I am. You just want to learn how to draw better, you're curious, you know, you love it, you're passionate about it. You know, I encourage everybody to draw with me. Spend this time with me, just do your own work and draw. Because the thing that most excites me about this YouTube thing, it's not like, oh, I'm going to be a famous YouTuber and I'm going to be so rich and have a big house and a giant studio and I'm a big old YouTuber. I mean, sure, would that be nice? But yeah, it would be fantastic. But the prospect that really intrigues me about doing this live stream is not so much what I can get out of it from you guys, but what I'm going to get out of it from myself. And I've already noticed just drawing and creating a new piece of art. This is my 20th one now. And I have about 4 or 5 preliminaries I did just to see if I could accomplish this in a time frame. So what are my drawings going to look like when I hit, you know, live stream 100 or finish my first year of live streaming and have a whole year underneath my belt of doing a piece of art every single day? Like, how far is my work going to improve? You know, I can go back and look at my art from the years and see every stage of my development. And it's pretty awesome to see, you know, how far I've come and the time frames. But I think that doing this every single day is going to create the most growth I've ever seen in my work. And that is really exciting. Me and my wife were talking about that earlier, like how much my work is going to increase. You know, until these live streams, I'd only played with these. I think I got these to show a few YouTube videos, the acrylic inks. So yeah, these, I picked them up when I first started YouTube, just thinking I need something to do quick on camera. And I fiddled with them, shot a few videos, and then put them away. You can go back and watch them. They're still up on here. But now I'm learning a whole new medium and really teaching myself. I'm already better with them now than I was the first live stream. I'm learning to kind of get messy and pull back the ink like I always talk about and more consistently. And I'm learning my strengths and my weaknesses with the medium, which is a lot of fun. And I think my main medium will always be acrylics. I just love the detail I can get with acrylics. Those are my bread and butter, for sure. Like I said, I will be doing some of those on this live stream. All right, we got a outline and a number 3. It's just a basic outline, so now I know what I'm doing. In this eraser, like I said, we'll do a little buff on the table here to knock off all the Knock off all the grody part of the eraser. Only the top end art supplies too. I don't know where this came from. I think my kids got this eraser from school. I have no idea where it came from. But you don't need always the most fancy things. Like, you know, I'm using number 2, classic yellow. Everybody had in school. Take a test. I mean, I've got all the pencils. You know, I've got several sets of really nice, expensive pencils. But for these live streams, I just find it easiest just to grab a good old-fashioned number 2. They're dirt cheap. Get a whole package for a couple bucks. And you don't always have to have the fanciest of equipment to get anything done. Now, that being said, I am on this really thick Canson paper, so this pencil just comes off like a dream, like you wouldn't even know it's there. But you don't always have to use the high-end stuff to get some amazing work to come out. And that's something else I may play with here on the channel. I may do some charcoal drawings, and I may do some graphite drawings. I'm sure I will at some point. I'll have to mix it up. But right now I'm really having fun learning these inks. Let's get ready to do it. So antelope, and let's do some, okra. What was brilliant? Okra. Okra. I think I'm going to run to the art store this weekend, or next week. I've got a huge selection of these inks over here, but I might try to get myself a few new colors to play with. I'm still on the fence, and it's hard, you guys can't see on the live stream. You got to hold the artwork in your hand to really see it. But I've got the shimmery and glimmer, you know, the glittery ones, which in some use cases look really neat, but they almost sometimes can come out looking like a child's storybook, which, you know, that's not so bad. There's some cool storybook art out there. And then, you know, they can tend to look a little on the girly side, which, you know, when I'm doing that cat or, you know, doing a little girl piece, that's nothing wrong with that. My buddy Joe is looking at him today, and he hates it. He's like, "Oh, don't use that glitter. Ugh." Like that, I don't like that at all. So like this one, I won't use glitter on, but I've only got a few glitter inks, and I may pick up some more just for fun. I'm on the fence whether I like the glitter or not myself. So I figured, yeah, just keep playing with it. It's not the end of the world. Some of my pieces get pretty feminine. I love doing it with the girl robots. Here, I'm already breaking my own rules. Starting with the dark color instead of the lighter color. Not well. No paper towel. I'm all kinds of not prepared today. Yeah, I kind of like that. Do that one. Boop. I love the spotted patterns. You notice me do it a lot. I really do like them. They give an amazing effect. It's so easy to do too. That's the thing. It looks awesome and it takes me 10 seconds. Now let's take a nice thin brush. Just a little something different, a little directional lines here. Gonna have them running through. Small chicken scratches, but detail. Hey, WT. There you are. How you doing, hon? I'm gonna go with a little bit of. We got that yellow and that brown. I'm trying to think pirate. Kind of. This is a little bit of a R piece. Just because of the Jolly Roger on the side of the head, but we'll see what we go with the color here. A little bit of. Just a little bit of blue. Okay. That's it. Quick and simple. Okay. I'm thinking black and gold, silver, and the skull. I like the idea. Okay. Try again, Miss Camera. There. Aha. Reminder, hit that thumb, that bell notification, or hit the thumb, that bell notification. Subscribe to the channel. Do all the YouTube jazz. Get that algorithm going. Yada, yada, yada. Professional YouTuber. Insert here. Alright. Good night, guys. Thanks for showing up. We'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys you're in the hotel, aren't you? So drive safe tomorrow. Be good. Careful. All right. Oh, yeah, we're gonna start with the blue, just because we're gonna make this and this section black. So we'll start with a light indigo underbase. And we'll do the black over top of that. So our highlights will be this light indigo. I don't want to get too dark with this one. This is really light up here. Just for the highlighted areas. I am really, really wet down here. I need to blow dry. Ooh. Now we're just kind of scrubbing that in. Like I said, we're going to make this black. But we work light to dark. And we're going to get somewhat messy here in a minute. So if you're first time watching, it will look a bit messy. It will look a little scrubbed in, but that's all right. We're going to build from light to dark. But before we go any further, I got a giant pool of water sitting down here and a giant pool of water sitting right here. So we're going to hit the mute button, but I need a few little dark spots first. Then I'm going to hit the mute button, grab that blow dryer. We're going to dry up our canvas here just a little bit, or our paper. A few more of these. I want it to be kind of real grungy. We like grungy on this one. All right. I grabbed that blow dryer and things went flying everywhere. You can't see it on camera because it looks like I got a nice clean drafting table, but I assure you it's not so clean off camera. I've got stuff everywhere. So I hit that blow dryer and man, things went flying left and right. Whoopsies. That was a wake you up moment. Okay. Now, let's go back in here with the indigo and the black. Again, it's not going to stay blue. We're only doing blue right now to build up a base for our color. Silver, gold, black. Yep. Okay. Same in here. This is gonna be black as well. Oh, let's get some blue in there. Let's get some of that blue in there for our highlights. So if you want to take your work to the next level, one of the things I would suggest to you anyways, the first temptation when you first start working on art is to just grab your first color, like, oh, I want that to be red. So you grab a red and just start painting. Oh, hey, I want that to be blue. So you grab a blue. But if you use a variety of colors along the same spectrum that you want, like black, so I'm gonna use a blue base and I'll put black over it, leaving light blue for some shadows, it'll make that black look that much better. If I'm using red, I'm gonna use not just red, I'm definitely gonna be, like I wanna darken the red, I'll add a little blue to it. So if I wanna go lighter, it's like oranges and yellows. You're not gonna just always jump straight to, oh, I wanna make that lighter, you grab white and go with a light pink. Sometimes it looks better if you just tone it down with a little orange, tone it down with a little, and that'll really help your work. It'll make it pop. What I'm looking for. It'll really just give your life a whole new life. I want to be a little careful here because I don't want to go. Up here is going to be a lot of highlight, so I don't want to go too blue. But it's going to be full of black up here too, so. I'll lay it in, scrub it out a little bit. Kind of like that. Same now, we're going to do the same down here. Pick out the darker areas and leave some places that can be like lightened into shadow. So I'm kind of looking for about 3 tones of blue, a very light blue, a medium blue, and then a dark blue, this indigo. Indigo looks almost like a navy, a real dark blue. Now if I really wanted to get colorful with it and push it even more, I could use another shade of blue in here and use 2 shades of blue. But for this pirate piece, we want to keep it kind of darker on the darker side. That crazy background, so we're going to keep it a little darker this time and not do a whole lot of colors. A lot of my robots I'll use at least 3, maybe 4 colors. Like a yellow, a blue, and a green, and a purple, and go random with it, and I call it make it muddy. Well, then I go back over top of it and I add the darks, the shadows, and the highlights, which you've seen me do in other videos. And that gives it a whole different look. Then you look like you have all these reflective colors bouncing off your metals. But that's not necessarily what we want to do with this one. And we're going to keep with the navy theme a little bit for the shadows. Just on the metal part though. So the metal shadows, you're going to add some yeah, I don't want that there. That's going to be yellow. It's going to be like a gold color, so. And it's not going to be able to pull off. Oh well. Happy accidents. We'll figure out how to make it work later. Not a big deal. We're not going to get in our heads and overthink this piece too much. Just keep working it, and all your mistakes you can fix in the future and pull out later. Now we're just looking for all of our areas where we're going to have shadow. Our shadow right in here. Where this middle kind of changes, transitions. I'm going to do a little bit down there. A bit lighter and let it work darker. If you're choosing to work in these acrylic inks like I am, how do you get the same tones but use the exact same color? I'm using one color here. It's just in water ratios. So I'm playing around with different water ratios. Not how wet my brush is. Because I'll dip it and then I'll just tap it. Make sure I don't have too much ink on my brush. But the ratio is just how much water to ink on the brush before I tap it. Not how much dripping or not dripping my brush is. So it's all about learning how to mix your ratios. All right, we'll just kind of scrub it off into the wheat. This up. Now when we go in here and darken these shadows a little bit, we'll actually not be using black. We're using Payne's Gray to contrast the center where I'm actually going to black to have a bit of contrast. Now, I do this big old shadow on the side of the head here. I'm actually going to go right over the Jolly Roger. Because if it's going to be a white area, we might want a little blue tint to it just to showcase the shadow side. Now we're not going to go with a medium and darker blue, no. If you have any questions while I'm working, feel free to jump on the chat and ask me. Or if you just want to talk about any particular subject. You know, I don't get into politics on this channel, but anything else. Ask me if I've seen a movie or ask me this and that. Feel free to jump in there. Always fun to have conversations while you're working. Makes the time fly. And again, I ask if you've just found this channel, I hope you'll consider giving me a subscription and subscribing here and joining me Monday through Friday. We'll be going live and doing these art pieces. And if anything, I'm hoping I at least deserve a thumbs up. You can give me that too. I will not complain. In fact, I would love to get a thumbs up from everybody who watches my videos. Great. All right, we're gonna call that good on the shadow side. We're not gonna dive too deep into it. I lied. We're gonna dive a little deeper here. Just a little deeper on part of it. There we go. That tone looks a little bit better. I want to pull those shadows a bit. And then we'll pull that ink out. Draw it out a little bit. So I've got a good dark base to help the skull pop a bit better. Our pirate bot. My brushes are all over the place. I've got some high-end brushes and I've got some, you know, cheap brushes. Some of these brushes I've had for years, but yeah, they're really all over. I mean, I try to pick majority of them up at the actual art stores because that's one area where I want higher end brushes. You know, I find that some of them are from Hobby Lobby. You can buy some decent brushes at Hobby Lobby. So some of these are Hobby Lobby brushes. But the ones you're gonna find like Walmart, Target, yeah, you can pretty much stay away from those brushes. They're junk, and anything that's in a kid's section. You know, a good brush, I probably pay, depending on the brush. I mean, you can spend well over $100 on a brush, easily over $100 on a brush. But I stick to the medium spectrum with my brushes typically. I love to have the Cadillacs, but you know, Cadillac brushes are. If I was blowing $100 per brush, man, I better be selling my work for a little bit more than I am now. But I find a good mid-range brush from the art store, and I'll check out sometimes. Joanne and Michael's can have some decent selections if you're a bit on a budget. But yeah, I think most of my brushes probably average between $10 to $20. You know, I don't spend much more than that if I can help it. There's a bunch of brushes out there I want to try, I just haven't yet. Like I want to get some treacle brushes. I have not. I've got some of their paint I use occasionally. I got some, but the brushes I've never pulled the trigger and got a pair, but I really want to get a set of treacles. A lot of artists put out their own treacle brush series. My big dream is one day have my own treacle brush series. That'd be fantastic, but you know, Greg Simpkins, he puts them out all the time. And other artists I follow have got their own series of brushes come out occasionally. They're all sponsored by Treacle. So, one of these days, why not? But as far as what brand they are, I don't even think I have two of the same brand. They're all different. This is a Cornwell. No idea where it came from. I think I've been using this brush since college. It is showing it's showing its age. All right, doing just about long enough here on this color. That's a bit heavy. Just blend it out. Remember, this is the part of the drawing where I get real muddy and it looks like I've just overdone areas, but when I go over with gray and bring out the highlights, you'll understand why I've done it. And it'll look really good. If everything works out the way it should. But I got faith. Alright. Let's bring out the metal part. We'll do the metal tone. And I'll go with the black. This is gonna be gold in here. I'm still not sure about the jewel or the eyes. You got any suggestions? Colors you'd like to see that? We'll see how the piece comes together. Yeah, black and yellow is mainly gonna be the color scheme on this one. It's already out there. you'll see a lot of my brushes are pinched because of the same deal. The ends fall off of them because they're just cheap. I'm trying to see if I got any right here in front of me. Probably back there. I've got tons of brushes back there, but I just grab a pair of pliers and I pinch them back on there. I'll use them. My favorite brush when I work with acrylics over there, it's a long, I don't even know, it's like probably a number 3 or 4 round. I don't even know what number it is, but I use it all the time. It's like my favorite go-to brush, and I'll do the majority of my paintings with this one single brush. But that tip has fallen off that brush, I don't even know how many times, and I've super glued it back on, and I have pinched it with pliers, and I mean, that thing is just beat, but I don't give up on it. Every time it breaks, I find a way to fix it. I think the handle's got tape going around it because I've glued and taped the handle back together because it's broke at some point. But you know, when you find a brush you just love, I mean, I'll do. I fight to keep that thing alive. Yeah, art book's one thing I want to do in the future. That's on my list of things that I want to do at some point in my career. You know, get a book, a coffee table book to come out or something like that. Touching this gray in some area. Not that area. That is not metal. That is going to be black. Don't do that. Not sure what time you jumped on here, but you probably heard me talking about this over the last week. I've ordered my shipping supplies, so when they come in, I will, well, shipping supplies and some stickers. I want to have at least my logo sticker, this one right here. I'm gonna have stickers made of that one as well, and I've got to work on getting some other stickers put together. I've not had just haven't sat down and done it yet. Time being a fleeting thing. I'm gonna get some more stickers on the website as well for sale, but these are going to go up on my website next week if everything goes right. It should be the next week or the following, depending on whenever the supplies come in. But once I have the ability to get the shipping material in, yeah, so you'll be able to go in if you want one of my live stream pieces of art, one of these things, and I'm going to sell them really cheap. I don't think I'm going to ask a fortune for them. Basically, just, you know, there's a lot in shipping, and each one is going to come matted. So you'll get these come on a hardboard. They'll be matted in a nice acid-free mat, and then basically just get these are 9x12, so you get a 9x12 frame, drop it right in, boom, Bob's your uncle, you got a piece of my art. And that'll be pretty inexpensive. So these are going to hit the website if everything goes right next week, possibly the week after, depending on, because I want to be able to ship each one of these with a logo sticker. So once those get in, then I will be set to put them on my website, and they'll be up for sale. So you can get yourself your own Michael Smell Stinky Robot piece of artwork for your walls. That is stinkyrobotart.com. If you haven't checked out my website, you should go there. You'll see all my larger works there and my prints and other things I have for sale up there on the website. But these also, because I'm having to do, 5 a week, so I'm looking at 5 of these per week. So when it comes to my buying them on my website, I'm going to do a blind box. I think it'd be fun, exciting. So if you want to own one of my live stream pieces, you'll be able to go to my website, select one, but you'll have no idea which one shows up in the mail. Cross your fingers for the one you want. But it's kind of be an exciting part. When it shows up in the mail, you have no idea. You open it up, which one you received. I think that's gonna be a real fun idea. I like that idea. And of course, anyone who's interested in purchasing a particular one can always hit me up on the website and say, hey, do you have this one available? And if I do, then we could probably work something out and I can get you the one you are wanting, unless that becomes an issue or something in the future. So I won't make any promises along those lines, but if I really like the blind box idea, that kind of Christmas morning where you don't know what you're going to get till you open it up. I'll wait and see how much time I have available at the end. But I kind of want to add a little rust details on him. I love doing rusty robots, but we're going to have to wait to the end and see what we're looking at on time. So stick around to the end to see, does he put rust on the robot? Stick around and find out. Yeah, the Sailor Bot was that was a cool piece. That was a really cool piece. Yeah, I like the loot box ideas. Yeah, I like that idea. One of the other things I've been playing with, I mean, I make no promises on this channel just right now, but in the back of my mind, I'm working towards the idea of starting a Patreon. You know, if the site can take off and I get enough people interested in me doing it, I think once I've surpassed 1,000 subscribers, that's when I'll start taking this serious. Is getting a Patreon set up, and that could be a lot of fun because then I can start doing more things. I can actually have some painting classes I can have people sign up for, and then these will become more of a, so I'll do some Patreon exclusive stuff. So that'll be a lot of fun for various levels. I like the idea of Patreon quite a bit, but we'll see how much interest we generate here with the channel. I'm highly optimistic, so if Patreon is something you're interested in, you'd like to see me do it, make sure you get down there and hit that subscribe button, because once we get enough subscribers to the channel, we're going to start doing various things. As of right now, I think my first target goal for this channel is 500 subscribers. And when I hit 500 subscribers, that's when I'll start doing one giveaway every single week. So every week, if you're a subscriber to the channel, once I hit 500 subscribers, I will start doing a weekly giveaway for all my subscribers. So if you're interested in that, hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you're a subscriber so that you can be part of that when it starts. So, to show you how early of a channel this is, we are sitting at, I think, 87 subscribers. Can't talk. Growing too much. 87 subscribers as of today. And hopefully by next week we'll be into the 90s. So every subscription is greatly appreciated. All right. Yeah, Discord's a not good idea. I've never been in a Discord, or never showing my age again. Discord's not something I've actually done much of, or literally any. I don't think I've ever actually gone to a Discord. But yeah, it would be smart if I actually sat down and learned how that was all, what that's all about. You know, I've got a Twitter account that I've barely ever touched. I think I've got like 1 subscriber on my Twitter account. I just don't do anything on it. And same thing, I go on again, off again with Instagram, and I'm kicking myself because I know I need to be on there more engaged. Same with Facebook. I'm on again, off again. I think I got my larger following group on Facebook, but again, I don't show much on there. This is something we're going to be rectifying in the real near future, is that blasted social media. Or I'd love to have someone work with me in my studio at some point, just to hand that part over to them. Like, here, manage my website and my social media accounts. Thank you. I'm only a couple of thousand subscribers away from that. Alright. We're going to call that good on the metal. I didn't go too detailed. I'm going to put just a little more white in here. Calling that good. Let's go that black now. We'll even have it out. Black. All right. I want my little brush. I've got one here somewhere. I had some. Oh, there it is. It's hiding behind that. It ran away from me for the blow dryer. Chased all my brushes across my table. I chased everything across my table with that thing. You know, that would be fantastic if that's true. I'm not sure what number I need to hit before I hit the algorithm, really. You know, I get suggested occasionally. I get a little bit of suggested videos. You know, right now I'm fighting for every subscriber I can get, for sure. This is just yet another argument of why I need to be more active on my other social media accounts, and that is kind of on my... I was talking about earlier, I don't know if you were on here earlier when you exactly jumped on, but yeah, for sure, there's certain things, after this week, I've been concentrating the last couple weeks on just getting this channel done. And like I said, I've got a commission sitting right behind me that has to be finished up, and I've got a few other projects that I'm ready to get going on. But I've been putting all focus the last few weeks on just getting this done. And now this is live stream number 20. So officially starting this weekend after I quit going live, I'm going to start digging into past projects I've really got to get brought up and finished. So that's when I'm going to see... I'm going to make a whole, so more social media presence and all that stuff's happening. I'm going to start really promoting the crud out of this channel. Well, I'm extremely grateful for every single person who's an early adopter and have been with me since day one. You guys are fantastic. You guys will always have a special place. I owe a lot to you guys showing up every day, really keen to keep my spirits going on this channel so that I'm not just talking to myself. It's fantastic that you guys show up. It really means a lot. All right, to the black. Let's get a bigger brush out there and let's do this. Gonna change it pretty much right off the bat, I think. This is going to be a little tricky on this, especially up here where a lot of highlights up here in this. I want to keep it. I'm trying to blend this black in with that blue instead of, I don't want to just draw it over top. I want to blend it in so there's a smooth transition from black into blue and it looks natural. It looks more highlighted. Let's see if we can accomplish that. So I lay it in, I clean my brush, put some fresh water on it, and then I try to blend. And then I can feather that gray into that blue with a light black, aka gray. Okay. And come down to the same thing here now. Where I can go solid black here in the shadow first. That good and solid black. Here on these edges, it's going to be solid black. Yeah, I can already tell doing these live streams, and you're anxious if me take it off. Believe me, I'm anxious this channel take off too. And one of the things I've noticed is not only I'm not that fearful of messing up anymore. I wasn't initially when I started this channel. Like I said, this is kind of a milestone day for me because I am on episode 20 or live stream number 20. And a few things I've learned over the first 20, which does not make me a professional in any stretch of the imagination, but at first, I was very concerned about really screwing one of these things up on camera and then having to finish something that looks like crap. And some of them have not been the best in the world, that's for sure. But I'm no longer that concerned about it. Like, I'm like, now I'm comfortable enough. Like, you know what? If I screw up, whatever, I'll just play it off and keep going. I'm not freaking out about the idea anymore. You know, and believe it or not, which trust me, it's probably in my videos, you totally understand where I'm coming from, but I am not a very well-spoken public speaker. There's been a few times I've had a gallery show or an art show and I've had to get up in front of everybody and talk my work and stuff like that. And that's tough. It's always tough. But getting in front of camera and talking it's difficult for me. But I'm getting more comfortable, and it really eases your mind some. Like, I start the channel off and, I'll practice a few times like, oh, okay, welcome to the studio for another Stinky Robot live stream, and I'm Michael Smellon, and come join me to draw. And I try to go through that little spiel, and I'll practice 2-3 times before I go live while I'm watching my little thing clock down from like 100, and I typically go live around 10 seconds or so on my countdown clock. But then as soon as it goes live, I'm like, all right, Michael Smell art stuff, I do Stinky Robot, come watch. And I'm like, crud. I practiced that whole thing, and then I opened my mouth and just I spewed. But that's becoming less and less so. Like today, I think I hit play and I was like, hey guys, what's going on? And it's feeling more natural, and that's exciting. I'm super excited for that to start feeling a little bit more natural, more comfortable. Okay, we're gonna go to skull here, but we're gonna do, I think that's all in the black. See how I left that blue shine through, and it really highlights. And I'll put a pop of white on this at the very end. Oh no, I've already got it out here. I'm gonna go with Antelope Brown I already got some blue already in there from the shadow. We're gonna try to do that Jolly Roger. I don't want to get too brown. I just want to add a little bit of detail. Just a little bit of details in here. Not gonna go crazy. Does not need to be. I'm just gonna put a couple touches here with this brown. Then I'll come back and I'll do a couple touches with the white. That will kind of help me. I want it to feel a little natural. At least as much as we can. I think I'm going to play around my thumbnail a little bit too. You'll notice that the thumbnail I use is pretty generic. When I was ready to go live with these live streams, I just did a quick little thumbnail and something I could easily just pop something, you know, art on top of every day after I get done live streaming in 2 seconds. Because I think I'm going to work on getting my. Tell me what you guys think about my live. You know, if you're watching my channel, you're watching me live. Take a look at my thumbnails and leave me comments down below. Do you like my thumbnails or you think I could do better? I'm on the fence that I can do a lot better with my thumbnails, and I know that's a big part of drawing in my audience, so we're going to play with that a little bit this weekend. Hopefully come Monday, see a new thumbnail show up. Keep an eye out for new thumbnails, and then I want to hear what you think. But yeah, as a matter of fact, you got any suggestions for this channel? Like I went over a whole thing, if you watched earlier, about lighting, looking for lighting suggestions, because I'm struggling with my lighting still. Because I'm dealing with illuminate my face directly and not over illuminating my artwork. Because then you lose a lot of the details in the line work. Especially the pencil, it just all fades out. If you have suggestions on that or any way I can improve this channel, I am open to any constructive criticism you may have, any suggestions, things I should look at. You know, leave me links to some things you think might work for me. And see if you can't give me a small boost in the right direction to make this channel that much better. With that, you will start seeing new content videos coming out real soon. I've teased the idea a few times, but we have one video that's pretty much done being edited. I'm gonna make a few more changes and I will be launching that video next week. I'll let you know exactly when that comes out. That's for my micro paintings. We've got 5 micro paintings right now and I've got the videos in queue just ready to be edited. One's almost done. Just need to touch it up a little bit. So keep an eye out next week. There will be a new video coming out. Those are gonna be time lapse of doing like my acrylic works. So these are smaller paintings, but they still took me several days to complete. So but those will be done in time lapse. I won't be talking, I won't be live streaming, but if you want to know what they'll kind of look like, you can go back and look at my other full painting videos on my website, or on my channel. And you can see what you're in for. Hopefully you like them. Again, always open to suggestions. Leave me comments. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Sorry, I'm going on a little tangent here, so. Hello. Yeah, this is a fun piece. I love jumping on here with no idea what I'm going to do. And then finishing off with a really neat looking piece. That's awesome. Yeah, I do like my other thumbnails a little bit better. I mean, these are a little cut and paste. But we're gonna play with that and see if we can't come up with something better. I think we can. I'm sure I can. Where we at time wise? About an hour and a half? Yeah, I think we'll finish this one in a decent amount of time. Not too bad. Yeah, let's see. No, I want to go brown. The black. Yeah. Yeah, that is one of the. Yeah, sorry, I just read your thing. Yeah, the art is a lot bigger. I mean, you're talking about a 16 by 20 or an 18 by 24. Those panels are a lot easier to photograph and then put into a nice big thumbnail. These ones are they're way smaller. So the very first one that I started doing, I didn't want it. I've only got one good mirrorless camera. That's an investment I'm gonna have to make soon, is buy another one, but it's set up in my Livestream setup. So every day after a live stream, first thing I have to do is completely unhook my rig, then do the photograph. So first I was just shooting with my phone. I got done, popped a quick shot on my iPhone and dropped it over into Photoshop and just dropped it in my thumbnail. So I want a thumbnail that I can easily, because after I finish a live stream, I want to just kind of be done. I don't want to spend another hour or so on a thumbnail. So I want something that's pretty plug and play where I can just pop a shot, throw it in my thumbnail, and there we go. But we'll get there. I gotta play with it a little bit. Yeah, I decided quickly after that no, I can't use my phone. Look at my first thumbnails. Yeah, they suck. So I unhook my camera every time I'm done. First step is grab the camera, unhook it, switch the battery out, throw in the memory card, and go over there and pop a shot. Which also means every day before I live stream, I have to go through the reverse and completely reset up my entire, set the camera back up and make sure it's all zoomed in correctly. And I really want more of a plug and play option, that's for sure. And now I'm just kind of going over these little yellow details and kind of adding the shadows. Yeah, there's a real temptation. I typically use Payne's Gray in my shadow work, but when I mix it into the yellow, I can't do that. You got to stay with the pure black on that because you'll end up getting the Payne's Gray is a little real blue. You know, it's a blue black, so you will end up actually making a really ugly green. Ask how I know. I made that mistake. So now I'm like, you gotta stick with the black. There we go. Now add a little white to that. That should look pretty awesome. Oh, thanks, WT. It is looking pretty awesome, I think. I am happy with it. Adding that extra time has made all the difference in the world. You know, that first initial, like, hey, I'm going to do it in an hour. Yeah, it was pretty stressful. Could I do it? Yeah, I kept going over an hour, 10, hour and 15 minutes on every live stream. And I eventually probably could get it down to an hour, but I felt raced. I was just literally, it was like every single live stream was a race. And that was putting a lot of stress on me. Adding that extra hour, it still forces me to do quick work. And I still, I don't have a lot of room to change my mind. It's pretty much you make a pencil line or you make a line, you're with it. You're sticking with it. You're not really doing too much changing and erasing. More than I was, but give myself that extra little bit of time. I can focus more on developing the drawing and making it look way better. And I think it's on the drawings I've done since I changed it to doing up to 2-hour live streams. With the option of it even going over. I mean, one day I may start off to do a 2-hour live stream and end up with a 4-hour live stream. Quite possible. And I'm not going to say I won't do it one day. In fact, I'm betting it's going to happen at some point. Just we'll get into something and it's like, you know what? This painting needs another 2 hours. So I'll give it another 2 hours if that's what it really, really needs. If it's turning out that amazing, then by all means, I'm not going to force it on something that's not turned out good. But it's allowing me to do more stuff like this, where I can get a little more detail oriented. I can dive in a little bit extra, do the extra little bit of work, and they look just day and night better. They're way better. I think that was part of my learning, growing pains, things I'm learning as I go. I'm sure that, live stream number 50 is going to look way different than this, and live stream of 200 is going to look way different than that. I'm crazy excited to get to that point. Live stream 100 is going to be a celebration. I'll be so happy. You know, I'm still trying to keep them gestural ink drawings, and I'm still trying to accomplish a whole lot, you know, a whole lot in those 2 hours. I'm not trying to get too caught up, that's for sure. All right, now we're down to, I'm at a little, almost, touch a little indigo, some spots I feel like I need to touch up, but then we're going to go into the eyes and the center jewel. And I'm thinking ruby red, and the eyes maybe bright yellow, and I contrast off that gold. What do you think? Ruby red or sapphire blue on the gem? Or I could go purple. That might look really good against the gold, you know, going complementary with the yellow. That might look real good. Let's go purple with a jewel. And let's go bright yellow for the eyes. And then we'll have a complementary color palette. I think that's where we're going to go with it. My shadow falls off here and just died, so I gotta add a little more. Shadow was just trailing off too soon. It wasn't making much sense. There we go. That makes more sense now. Now I want to add a little darker there. That's where I said I was going to come in with the Payne's gray, and I'm attempting to skip a detail. We're going to stop myself before I get too carried away. We did not darken the shadows on that silver. And I'm trying to figure out why something's not looking right, and that's why I forgot to come in here with this dark Payne's gray and add our shadow in. We're going to take 2 seconds here, and this will really help make that pop a bit, if I can do my job right. Here, touch a little there, bam. There. Talk to myself. Jamming out. You'd be surprised sitting over here how many times I just want to start humming or whistling or just kind of almost forget that I'm on live. I'm sure I make a big old fool of myself sometimes if I'm not careful. But who cares? It's my birthday. I can cry if I want to. I can party if I want to. Darken that side of the head a little bit more. Shadow. Now, so I gotta be a little careful with adding this Payne's gray because it's going to be competing with this black a little bit. On camera, I'm sure they look real similar. In person, you can tell that they're definitely different tones. But that is what we want. We want a subtle difference in tone. And this is what, if you can learn how to master elements like this, it'll really increase your ability with your work. And it's the subtle details. When someone looks at a painting, like, man, it really looks good. I don't know why, but I really like it. And they can't quite put their finger on why it looks so real good, so good. And a lot of it is simply the subtleties that your eyes picking it up, your brain's picking it up. You can't quite put your thumb on it. And it's things like slight variations in color. It's things like making your colors not out of a solid color. You're making your color out of, you know, a few different colors. I just did there on accident. That's paint. that was not Payne's gray. I dipped my ink in the brown, then I started blending it. I have to fix that. No. Did it again. On my palette, the colors look exactly the same. Okay. I got excitable there. Carried away. Alright, problem fixed. But yeah, if you can do these little... It's a matter of mastering subtlety. You can see it a lot more on my larger works. For example, like I said before, if I want to make a red color, I don't have red on my palette. I have red, yellow, blue, maybe magenta, you know, I have a few different colors laid out at once. And I'm custom mixing every single time I put my brush into it. A lot of people want to guess with paint, they want to grab this color and this color, mix them all together, and boom, I've got a purple. And it's all, and no, I want red, I want blue, I want a little yellow, and I'll custom mix the color every single time. Mix a little blue, a little red, and orange. So that every time I pick up the brush and I start painting, it's the same color, but it's just off a little bit from the previous mixed. The next one will be just off from the previous mix, but they're all in the same tone and they're all almost the same color, but it'll create subtle color shifts throughout your painting that you won't recognize. You can't put your finger on why you like it, but that's why you like it. It's those subtleties play tricks with your brain. Just enough you have no idea why you like it. Okay. We're going into the eyes. And you know what? What do you think? I was thinking about doing a bright yellow in the eyes, but maybe I'll just do the blackout eyes because they are hollow eyes. Kind of feel like just doing the blackout eyes now. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to make this piece a little bit darker. We're going to go with the blackout eyes. And then we'll do the big jewel down below, and I think I'm still sticking with purple on that. Since we're doing the skeleton, or the Jolly Roger on the side, that's why I think about doing the big black eyes. So it kind of plays off that Jolly Roger on the side of his head. And they both got big black hollow eyes. It makes him a little more skeleton-like as well. Yeah, I like that. That was a good choice. Getting real close to being done here, guys. We're knocking on the door. Knocking on the door to completion. trying to be very, very careful here with this. That's why I'm getting my big old head in there. Trying to get real close so I can, my blind butt can look over my glasses, see what I'm doing. Now, oh, I need white. A little. And then just a tiny bit. There we go. Sweet. Now, let's do a jewel, shall we? So, prime example, we are going to use purple. No glitter purple this time. Use purple. I'm going to use red. Flame red. And indigo. Start with a purple and red first. First pass, I want to keep that purple real light again. We'll darken it up as we go, but this is light to dark. Red. Yeah, the more I play with different tones of color in here, again with inks, that's water ratios. And I'm also going to be mixing some red and some blue in here. I can't do quite as much as I can with acrylic paint. Acrylic paint, I can get a lot more into mixing my colors. You're somewhat limited with the inks on how much you can and can't mix. You can mix some, but you can't mix 3 or 4 colors together. It doesn't really, at least to my current abilities and knowledge, doesn't work very well. But we're gonna kind of play off this a little bit. Look almost organic, but in a jewel type pattern. If that makes sense to you. Some of that red and purple together. That should give us some brighter colors. It might be working a little on the light side, but that's okay because I do not want to overdevelop this area. And we'll start darkening it strategically. A little on the red side, but that's fine. We'll blend that in there and add more purple. I'm just taking my time and blending this real nice so we get a good jewel pop. Take a little of that dark. And all the way around the outside edge. Really darken it on the dark side. I'll take a little bit of water only brush and kind of smooth that out. That. We go straight to dark purple. Really pull that dark purple in the dark side out. And straight to white. This part we want to feather down here. We don't want this too bright. Feather this white in. Like so. That gives us a pretty darn good looking jewel. Pirate treasure. Sweet. I think that's just about it for the day, guys. And I'm going to go with one more loop with that Payne's Gray. Just on this very far edge of the jewel. Really, on the shadow side, take that jewel to a nice dark tone. That will help pop it a little bit more. On the shadow side. Like so. And a little bit of that Payne's Gray just on the opposite side. Just a little. And that looks fantastic. Okay guys, we're gonna sign it, we're gonna peel it. 2 hours and 5 minutes on this piece. And we got ourselves a pirate today. Arr, matey. Pirate's life for him. You can get a good clean peel today. Oop. Ripping the tape. Try again. What is going on? I am a disaster. There we go. Both sides. That just the tape was ripping. Luckily, not the paper, but sucker. That silly sucker. Really like the background on this one. The background turned out great. Matches the skull really nice. The color palette's amazing. Going with that black, yellow, and purple for this piece. Love my color palette. I'm honestly really excited about this one. I truly like this one. I think it turned out great. Well guys, there we are. That's today's drawing. It is the Pirate Bot. I'd like to thank everybody who showed up, watched the video today. Tank, Kate, WT, Stacy, everyone who joined me in chat. If I missed you guys, I'm sorry. I was, working the whole time. Tried to read as many of the comments as I could, but guys, thanks a lot for showing up. Again, if you watched the video and you have any suggestions for me, let me know in the comments down below. I will definitely be reading them. I hope you'll give me that thumbs up for watching the video. If you showed up and you liked what you saw, I'm hoping that I've earned your subscription today and you want to jump in here and do some drawing with me. I will be going live Monday through Friday. Typically, as of right now, I've been going live at 9:30 in the morning. That's Central Time. Sorry, let me fix that. 11:30 in the morning Central Time, 9:30 in the evenings on Thursday and Friday. I go live. Again, I said this time will be changing next week. I'll let you know as soon as I know. We got kids sports coming up. So, got volleyball for my daughter and baseball for my son. So dad's got to make sure he's at the game. So we'll be adjusting our times accordingly as soon as I find out the schedules. But yeah, last thing is hit that bell notification. That way, if you forget when I go live, you'll get a little notification. Guys, always thanks for showing up. You're amazing. We'll catch you tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Central. See you tomorrow.